Hello, this is Tim from timsquarefootgarden.com. Welcome to my summer garden. Just thought I'd give you a little tour of what's growing. Since the last videos were from the fall, this ought to be an opportunity to see what's growing. Right now it is July 1 and we're in pretty much just about the middle of summer, I would say. And as you can see here, this is the corn grown in the raised bed. This is NK199, and as it's just now starting to tassel, and it seems a little early this year, but everything seems to be a few weeks early. We finally got rid of all the rain. We've been under a deluge of rain, and this is just a glorious day today. We actually had a string of 4 or 5 days that have been really nice, and as you can see, we already got a few small little ears maybe starting to form as well. Swinging around here, this is a raised bed that had potatoes in it. Really everything's outgrown with the exception of potatoes, which have been harvested, and peas, which you'll see later. And got some green onions growing in here. Those are just some top sets. I thought I'd stick them in there to see how they do around the edges. I'll be planting these plots probably in another month with fall crop, believe it or not. Moving over here, here's the onions I was a little worried about before, and right now they're doing pretty good. Actually, they're done. They're ready to be harvested, and I was a little concerned earlier about a leaf disease, but I just think they were pretty much done growing and ready to, the tops have all just about all fallen off. This is candy and red candy, and over here you can see my top setting onions. They're really done. I'll be harvesting those top sets and pulling up the mother plants here shortly when I pull up the rest of the onions. And as you can tell, I got a little bit of weeds starting to grow in there, but I decided to wait until I pull up the onions to kind of cultivate this bed a little. And once the onions get dried and pulled up, I will be planting beans in this. Over on the one side, there's celery grown. That's a Tango, called Tango hybrid, and celery's doing fairly well. I think it needs a little bit of, believe it or not now, it needs probably a little bit of moisture. Need to do a little bit of watering, but doing fairly well. To the other side, I've just planted these lettuce plants. Got these in a little late. They've been in about a week or so, and they like this cooler weather, and we'll see how they do. I got Sierra and Green Towers growing. Over to the other side, these are plants I was trying to save for some seeds, and we've had just terrible rain, and they've begun to they look really awful, and I don't know if they'll actually reach maturity. Will they'll push on some flowers so I can collect the seeds, but we'll see. Moving over here, I have to move back a little because these things are growing really well. This is my cucumbers, and actually I've already harvested enough for about 7 jars of cucumber refrigerator pickles, and I'll be harvesting a few more of these. And actually, when I'm done harvesting these the next couple days, I'm going to pull up the plants, and I'll show you why, because they're overcrowded and everything else. There's banana peppers up at the front and banana peppers on the other side, and tomatoes to the back. So, but what I did is I grew these on a, I'll reach in here and kind of see, yeah, there's some nice looking cucumbers. This is a Diva, it's called Diva cucumber, and they're a burpless, smooth seed, not too many seeds in them, and I think they make a really good pickle cucumber, but other people might disagree with that. They grow fairly well, and I got them growing on these, you can't really, yeah, you might be able to see them a little bit. These are just a square tomato cage. I got actually 2 of them back to back, and there's actually 8 plants in there, and they'll just take over if you let them. So I'm about done with them, and I'll be pulling them up, even though they would probably still produce. Moving over to the other side, these are my peppers, and they are just crowded in here, and as you can see, they're all competing for space, and the peppers have just started to come on. Don't quite, I have a few green peppers, but you won't really see those very well. They're real small. I do have some banana peppers here toward the back. There's some that are really small right there. And then I got some further on back. Where are those suckers? They're hiding from me, of course. They're camera shy. There's some in the bottom. Anyways, they're in here. There's some right there. There's another big one down in there. Kind of see. But they're not doing too bad. Getting some good banana peppers. Those are a Hungarian hot wax or a hot banana pepper. Right here I got some beans. This is where my cold frame was in the spring, and the bush green beans are doing fairly well, even though they look like they're actually getting a little dry now. They do have some little beans on them, as you can see kind of right there, and they're flowering, so it won't be long before I have some green beans. Move around toward the back side. Here's some more peppers I got tucked away. You can see those are the hot Hungarian wax. And over here, tomatoes. Tomatoes are doing fairly well. I am developing a leaf disease on them, I think, and I have to spray them. But you know, the weather's been really an issue around here. So dry weather's is a plus. As much rain as we had. So they've actually got little tomatoes on them, and they are starting to flower. So hopefully I'll get some Romas. These are all Romas, and you can see their square tomato cages are grown up into. Over here is where my peas were, and now I planted beans. And you can see how I kind of snake a soaker hose through there. And they haven't come up yet. I just planted them a few days ago, and should have a lot of bush green beans. To the north side, I have these are lima beans. I planted 4 hooks this year, and some baby lima beans, Eastlands. And then on the poles, I have the pole lima beans, which are king of the garden. And these are seeds that I saved from last year. As you can see, they're doing really well, and I'm surprised because they are flowering, which seems awfully early. And here's a flower there on some of you can see the flowers, and they're doing well despite all the rain. And over here is my broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cabbage. And for some reason, this plot hasn't done that well. Now the Brussels sprouts have done well early, and then we had all this rain. They're kind of wilty, and they look really not good. But the broccoli did really well for the main head, and then the side shoots are doing well, but then they're really wilty right now. I think it's just because we had all the rain and the ground's still a little moist. And then to the end, this is cabbage, which might not look too bad on the video, but let me assure you, those heads are pretty small. There are just maybe some are softball size and no bigger, and hopefully they'll get a little bit bigger, and as it get a little drier weather. But I'm not holding out much hope. I might have some, but they'll be small heads. And I got some oregano that I had planted. Well, this has been in the ground for 3-4 years now. It's a perennial, and I've had a couple cuttings off of that. This is actually fennel growing here, and I saved that for the seed. And that's just starting to get going. One last thing, I have chickens. As you can see, want to say hi, girls? Hi, ladies. They always want to get out. And this is the new run we built for them, and they get a little vocal sometimes and want to get out, and I don't blame them. It's a nice day. But you say hi? So chickens are a lot of fun, and if you've not had chickens before, you ought to consider getting a few. And of course, the eggs are really good. So anyways, just thought I'd give you a view of what's growing in my garden, and hope you enjoyed the little tour. And happy gardening.